Alright, so today we have a movie about how even a man can triumph all odds if he works hard enough. So this is like the first Superman movie I've ever watched, and let's go over this one. So it seems like a minute ago there were some people that came and did stuff, and then like a grip ago Superman came to Earth, and then like a second ago he had a fight with some guy. Anyway, we see him here in the snow, held out, and he's called some lame dog over to help him, and the dog proceeds to do nothing of any worth for a long time, just like its nature, until he finally gets dragged to a cave with some robots helping him out. And the robot slaves show him a message from his parents, you know, because they were apparently cool, and they told him to be a good guy and everything, so that's why he's doing what he does. Anyway, after getting helped up, he goes back to the battlefields to catch a fade with that guy he was fighting to begin with, and we find out the guy is being pirated by the real hero of the movie, Alexander the Great Luthor, who's using him as a way to show that human ingenuity wins every time. So, after the metal guy wins, he goes back to the Luthor base and celebrates his victory with his comrades in arms. Meanwhile, it turns out Superman is also a reporter human who is working with a woman that he likes, and they start talking about Superman or something. Also, Alexander the Great Luthor goes to the government to tell them that he has the solution to everyone's problems. They can never fully trust an alien, so instead they could use him to help defend our interests, but you know the government, they just can't listen to reason, so Luthor has to walk away empty-handed. So human Superman goes to his wife, and she tries to interview him in a typical fashion, but he gets in his feelings over it because he has to defend himself for intervening in a conflict that has nothing to do with him. I mean, he did the right thing and everything, but you know, people are gonna get in his ass over it. And while this is going on, Alexander the Great breaks into Superman's lair and has his henchmen do the most, like in this one scene here, while also getting the message from his parents. And he has his other minions send some monster into the city, which gets dealt with by some other bum heroes that nobody cares about. But in the midst of saving the day like usual, Superman gets fake exposed because it turns out the message from his parents has been fully unlocked and they sent him here to have a harem. And now everyone looks at him crazy, like he didn't just save their lives multiple times. And Alexander turns on his acting, tries to tell the people that he's scared of Superman, and then the bum heroes try to confront him like they're gonna do something about it. The dictator loser who tried to invade the other country is feeling himself now because he thinks Superman just took an L, and it turns out he's working with Lex the whole time. It's all part of some plan to split up the other country because, you know, it is what it is. It turns out Alexander also took Superman's dog and he's mad about it, so he comes to his office time to give it back, but Alexander is afraid of no op, alien or not, and tells him to do something about it. So Superman goes to his wife and tells him he's gonna turn himself in because he might as well. And when Superman gets to the base, he gets handed over to Alexander in his secret dimension, where some shapeshifter holds his weakness, while the bum country from earlier decides to invade its neighbor, because now Superman's out of the picture and he can't stop them. But it turns out that one of the news people that works with Superman and his wife is getting help from Alexander's treasonous girlfriend, and she gives him some information about what's going on. And the only reason the shapeshifter is helping weaken Superman is because his son's being held captive, but that's kind of a skill issue on his part. So Superman's wife goes to confront the bum heroes about why they're not doing anything about it, and they tell them they're too pussed out to do something, so they just let it be. But the one Negro among them has at least some courage and decides to help, even though it is only to spite his boss. So Alexander the Great gets some rando and shoots him because he's trying to get Superman to talk, and the foreign dictator guy's there too for some reason. But after seeing hundreds of people get tortured and locked up for no reason, I guess now the shapeshifter has a conscience or something and decides to help Superman get out of this. And just in time too, because the Negro and the wife are here, and they manage to pull Superman, the shapeshifter's fetus, and the dog out of the portal into the real world again. So Alexander's in his feelings now and soying out because his favorite prisoner escaped, and he starts completely hoeing his employees and his girlfriend, which makes her give all the dirt to that one guy who works in the news place. And in punishment for her treachery, she gets sent to the other dimension, but not in the way I usually say it. I mean like literally the other dimension. So Superman's wife takes him to the farm with his parents, and the foreign bums prepare their invasion, while Alexander the Great decides to split the world open to bait Superman to come in. As Superman does show up and gets attacked by two of Alexander's servants, but he manages to put the female one down while the male one turns to be a clone of him. And while this is going on, and the op country is invading the other country, it looks like the bum heroes decide to be useful for once in their lives and are stopping it, which is cool. And one of them manages to put the op dictator personally in her blunt. After a long struggle, Superman manages to put his clone in the dirt, and then he shows up at Alexander's spot and tells him to give it up. But once again, in the face of adversity, Alexander isn't going until some dog shows up and puts him on the ground. So because Alexander was exposed by a traitor girlfriend, now everything's blown up, and him and his slaves get arrested, while the Liz country celebrates because they've been saved from the ops. And Alexander's girlfriend gets freed and immediately goes to the news guy who's not really feeling her. And it turns out Superman's dog was really his cousin's dog, and she shows up and leaves and doesn't really nothing. So Superman decides to finally end the movie by showing scenes from his real family, the robots. I'm kidding, those guys are just his slaves. I mean his actual family, the human parents. Overall, this movie was lit. Honestly, I like it a lot, but I can't tell if it's just recency bias, or I really do think this is the best superhero movie of the decade. But yeah, I recommend that you had already watched this before you watch this, and if you didn't, then oh well. But the moral of the story is that if a man is passionate enough, then he too can be called great.